It is time now for CURES. So many of us deal with acid reflux, but there are certainly ways that you can help heal naturally.
Yeah, joining us now to talk more about the naturopathic physician, Dr. Artemis Morris. Nice to see you.
Great to see you guys again.
All right, could you first, I get it, but can you explain what acid reflux is and how we get it?
So that's kind of a trick question, actually, because acid reflux, the symptoms of high acid could actually look like the same symptoms as low acid. So if you have acid regurgitation, or you have like kind of a feeling in your throat or your upper GI where you feel some kind of fullness or heaviness, that could be acid reflux. But one of the problems with proton pump inhibitor use is that sometimes you're being prescribed something that's for high stomach acid, but the real cause is actually low stomach acid. So that's part of the trick of heartburn. You definitely want to get an assessment to see which one is it. Because if it's high stomach acid, you might have the right medication, but if it's low, you might be on the wrong medication with a lot of side effects, especially long term.
Is there a test for that?
So, well, I didn't even know. I guess I had the silent version of it. I was getting laryngitis, and then when they scoped me, they could see that part of it was acid, and so they did want to put me on a PPI, which is the standard thing to do for a little bit. And I know a lot of people are doing this, and now it's becoming more mainstream with doctors of like, all right, we don't want you on this very long. We'll go on it for a little bit. But there are people who have been on them for years and are being told you can never come off of them. And you have concerns about that because you said sometimes the pills that we're given for acid reflux or heartburn, all that stuff, could cause more harm than good over the long term.
Yes, this class of medication called proton pump inhibitors, Prilosec, omeprazole, it is the most widely prescribed medication in the US and possibly worldwide, and it is one of the most dangerous possibly worldwide as well, because the side effects could include things like increased risk of infection, because your acid is your body's way of preventing infection. So we need some stomach acid. The problem is when we have too much or too little. And so the side effects can include 44% increased risk of bone fractures, according to one study, increased risk of Alzheimer's, dementia, increased risk of worse clinical outcomes with COVID even in a recent study, nutrient deficiencies, iron, magnesium, things, vitamin B12, very important nutrients for brain health. So the American Gastroenterology Association even came up with a study, a position on how to safely go on them and go off them. And long-term use is, really very not indicated for very many things. So there are many alternatives as well that we can talk about.
Yeah, I'm lying in bed, it's midnight, I have acid reflux, I can't get to sleep, but I don't want to take this pill. What naturally can I do?
Well, first of all, you want to elevate yourself. So sometimes very simple. It's, you want to really make sure you're not eating late at night and not laying down. So that's one thing. The other thing is there are foods you want to prevent yourself from eating, which are tough sometimes, is spicy foods, especially tomatoes. Native tomatoes are in season right now.
Tomatoes.
I know, I'm enjoying them. So you want to avoid spicy foods. And then also things like there's a tree, a native tree, slippery elm, and the indigenous people have been using the bark of that tree for centuries. And I use it in my clinical practice, in my integrative medical practice as well. Slippery elm bark tea, aloe vera. I have some aloe here, so that's one thing that's safe and effective. Anything that is soothing to your skin will be soothing to your GI system. And then there are also studies looking at some nutraceuticals that include something like DGL, deglycerinated licorice root. So licorice root tea can help. Also L-glutamine, which is food for your gut. And even melatonin. I know, Kara, we did a segment on melatonin a while back, and there are studies actually showing that melatonin can help also with reflux symptoms. But you want to get something specific, and even gum mastic. There's a lot of options we have. So check with your GI doc, but 2/3 of people are on these medications and it's not indicated for them to be on it. So it's a big problem.
Unfortunately, I had, I wanted to get my voice back quick. I was suffering from laryngitis, and the doctor totally understood. He's like, we're going to just do this short term, just to turn it down real quick. And then I got off of it with out too much trouble, but some people who have on it for months, there's a way to get off, and you help people do that. But some of the lifestyle things, not eating 3 hours before bed, even having a little apple cider vinegar before meals can help build that up so that you have less symptoms. Is that right?
Well, apple cider vinegar and vinegars are only indicated if your reflux symptoms are due to low stomach acid. So, you won't find out until you try it. Some people it's going to make it worse, some people better. So, you're better off doing something like slippery elm tea. Even gum mastic has some really great studies on it. So, L-glutamine. There are certain powders I have that have aloe L-glutamine in it, like glutalamine is one product in particular I use a lot, but you can effectively get off of it.
Yep.
But you may want to wean off of it because there's a rebound effect.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can get worse before you get better. We're going to talk about this more on WFSB Plus on CURES Cures. You can also listen to the CURES Cures podcast. I know a lot of people have been prescribed this medication, so we're going to get a little deeper into how to get off of it and why you might want to, and have this conversation with your doctor. And of course, you can also visit the ArtemisWellnessCenter.com or follow Dr. Artemis Morris on Instagram, and she can help you as well. Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
You're not a rock star, Alanis Morissette, but you certainly are in your field. Dr.
Thank
Artemis
you, Scott.
Morris.
It means a lot coming from you. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Yes, I know you love to call her that.
I love to call her Alanis Morissette. I don't know why.
Still